One, and we're live. Hi, everyone. Another list review here of the Dutch Nationals list. I'm here with Michael Christensen. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Now, we are both going, and we're going to start by talking about your list, Michael. So that's going to be interesting. As always, the caveat is that we're just two guys on the internet. We're going to talk shit about some lists. We're going to like say our honest opinions. If we don't like your lists, sorry, that's just we're competitive, win at all costs. So yeah, it is what it is. But let me just start by sharing Michael's lists here. So that's going to be interesting. Um, am I actually sharing my screen right now? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, but now I can't. There we go. Now I
There
can
we
see.
go. Right. So,
But I
Michael,
don't need to. I know this list. So I don't need to actually
yeah,
see
but
it.
you can talk the viewers, you could talk people through this, and I will comment as we go.
Okay. Well, it's 17 order die lists. It has two single inexperienced lieutenants. I couldn't
Yep.
afford anything else. Then I have four scout teams with 5 men in each. All has SMGs with forward deployment, which is why they're there. I have my free rifle squad, obviously. Then I have three tank hunter anti-tank teams of four guys with a Panzerfaust and SMGs. And then I have three dog teams with two in each and two Katyushas and two snipers. And that
So
is basically the list.
that is an insane amount of forward deployers. If you guys missed this, he's got well almost
Nine.
all nine forward
Yeah.
deployers.
Four scout
So
teams, three tank teams, two snipe teams.
so most of Michael's list is actually going to deploy outside his deployment zone in most missions,
Yeah.
which is insane, and that's going to put very early pressure on his opponent. And also notice here, the tank hunters, the veterans, the four guys with submachine guns, they can really dish out some hurt. So against some lists, I think this will struggle because some lists really like you to be up close, but against many lists, especially like balance lists, I think that this is going to absolutely dominate because you're on the center of the board very early on, putting
Yeah,
pressure exactly where you want it to be.
I need to be careful against lists who are very good at assaulting,
Yeah,
especially on an open board. I need my cover so I get the shot in and get to hit at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the main finicky thing with this list. It's very very dangerous, but you have to be good at deploying your units, and you have to be good at having your units act together in like
covering
multiple
each other.
units at the same
Yeah,
time, support each other. Um, so the snipers are going to take out flamethrowers and other threats, and the tank hunters are there to supply that Panzerfaust, the dog mines to scare away enemy armor. All of that needs to work together at the same time.
it
A
does.
really really
It does.
interesting list. Um, and it
It's
has a
fun. It's
very
fun to play.
it's very fun to play against as well. um, and
It's
it has
very
a very
bloody when we have a game.
it's always very very bloody, and it has a very clear theme here. For me, I would have wanted maybe one of these Katyushas to be something else, a piece of armor, a steward, or whatever. But having two Katyushas is really powerful
I I
because it.
I I don't. I mean, the this list was actually made
Mm,
with the intent of putting out smoke. But
yep.
first time I played it, I realized that sometimes I'm dumber than a door because you can't put out smoke when you are on the 24-inch line before the game starts.
Yep.
Smoke is useless.
Yeah.
So then I tried to see can I find points to put armored vehicles in instead, either the BA-20 or the Stewart,
Mm,
but that would take the whole idea of my seven veteran squads out because I would have to either cut my scout teams and take some shirkers or something to be able to
Yeah.
make a lot of points, or I would have to remove my tank hunter teams.
Mm.
And this is made to forward deploy, and that is the units I have that can forward deploy. Which means if you face me in a mission with preparatory bombardment and there is forward deployment, you have exactly 0 targets to shoot at.
Yeah.
Where I get to bombard you.
Yeah.
So
Which is a very cool little side effect. And also in objective missions, you can be on the objectives from
yeah,
the start, and you can just sit there in ambush with veterans.
yeah,
Very, very difficult to dig out. So
yeah,
there's a
it is.
lot of good to be said from this. Yes, many people will, I think, look at these rather small units and think, well, that's easy. 5 men, I can deal with that. But there's so many of them. There's
Yeah, and
so many of them.
you are gonna face them, grouped together
Yeah.
where basically you will face somewhere between 18 and 26 shots from the
Yeah.
SMGs.
Yeah.
So
And you don't find that you need the rifleman to get that extra range, because you have very little, very limited range in this list.
I do. That is my big problem is the range. For
Yeah.
example, when I'm facing you British with the Gurkhas,
Mm.
when I can shoot at you, you can charge me.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Because these guys can fight against most units, but not when you have them. When you have
Not
their hits,
dedicated
no,
assaulters.
no, 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 they
Yeah.
can't. That and the Polish cavalry,
Yeah.
they will get murdered. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Japanese veterans will also do it, but yeah.
because they don't flee.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's the inexperienced Japanese, I'm not worried about them, or even regulars. I've faced them before with this
Yeah.
list, and
And they'll
they
take
get
so much damage going in. They might kill one
that's
unit, but then they'll get murdered by the next two.
yeah, they will.
Yeah. So a really interesting list. It'll be really interesting to see how well a list that focuses on forward deployment does in an international tournament.
It will. It will.
So that's the first one. The next one is from Martin, and he is bringing a 13 order dice German platoon. It's DAC themed, so he brings a regular second lieutenant with an extra man, possibly with assault rifles, and then Schützen with the LMGs. So 1, 2 Schützen. These are 7-man squads, good sized skirmishers, regulars. Storm Pioneers, 1, 2 of those with the flamethrower and submachine guns, and a rifleman to be the loader for the flamethrower. Veteran. These guys need a heavy field cast, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And then a Hare unit, again skirmish size, 7 men with an SMG, medium mortar, inexperienced, sniper team regular, Flak 88, the dual purpose one. This is a really good gun, but expensive. A 250/9, that is the light autocannon half track, really good little armored car.
Oh, it is.
A Panzer III, that's the darker Panzer,
Yeah.
and 2 heavy field cars.
Yeah.
Nice and tight little list here. What do we think?
Yeah, I think it has too few dice.
Yes.
I think 13 is at the low end, and uh, um, it's gonna make it like if he faces my 17 order die list, there's a huge chance I get to act first,
Yeah.
which means he will always be reacting. He can't drive his cars forward because if I get the first dice, I'm gonna send dogs on it,
Yeah.
and that's too expensive.
But
And I am
he does outrange you with all the light
oh he
machine
does
guns and
oh
yeah.
he does. But I mean the dogs have a 24 range threat range, and if I can take out a car with a squad in it, I don't care about losing the dogs when they've shot their dogs. The
Yeah.
guys don't matter.
Yeah.
But and I will never. I and my buddy Casper, he loves them. I don't understand them. I will never understand the light machine guns. I know you can shoot 5 shots at 35. They're going to be great against dog teams if you can see them. no doubt about it. I will do whatever I can to make sure you will never see them until they've shot their dogs. But other than that, I just don't feel like it's worth it. Because you
Well, in Schützen squads, I think he's been allowed to take the Schützen, so they're actually free here.
okay. Well, then I understand it. Anything
Yeah,
that's free is good.
yeah, always.
Yeah, because else I mean I kind of like there's places they do the rule where if you shoot with a machine gun,
Yeah,
you
you get
automatically get a
yeah,
pin, and I
yeah,
like that rule because that would make them useful in my book. They are not
yeah,
useful right now.
yeah,
But yeah, he does outrange me. But
yeah.
I don't mind if he stands at his back line waiting because then I have two Katyushas to fire at him.
That is
So
true.
yeah,
I like the choices of armor here.
oh, I do
Um,
too. I do too.
these are good. The half track one is really good against veterans and against light armor or soft skin vehicles, and of course the Panzer III. That's just a Stuart with a German paint coat.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the weapon he has, I fear the most is his 88 flak
Oh yeah, that will kill
because
anything.
anything that hits, I don't like his autocannon either, but with the HE3, he will annihilate my squads.
Yeah.
So that gun, I have to start.
And it has a lot of men and it
It
has a
has
gun
7 men.
shield
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
it's a really really dangerous gun. It is very
yeah.
expensive, but it's a dangerous gun. So this
Yeah,
is sort of
that would be the snipers that has to shoot at that. Give it some pins. It doesn't care about gun shield and all that crap. So
yeah,
they
yeah,
just have to make sure that's always with 2 pins
yeah.
or more.
So that he fails a few of his tests. And then we
Yeah,
have Martin S. So we have two Martins going, and he is bringing a British reinforced platoon, 19 order dice, very
I like
high
that.
order dice count here.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Um, Second lieutenant in experience, he's bringing the cheap one. Then rifle sections, 7 men, regulars. The artillery observer, he brings the Indians with unsurpassed bravery and of course the extra manpower of the Empire. I think it's going to come later on. Heavy mortar inexperienced, so that hits with a huge 3-inch template.
It does.
Flamer team, a Bofors gun, a British Airborne Recce Jeep, lovely, lovely little vehicle. A transport Jeep for the Flamer, I guess. A Stuart, darker
Yeah,
version. And then the second platoon, another lieutenant, again, skirmish infantry. The Indians, another flamethrower unit, another Bofors, another British Airborne Recce Jeep, another Jeep to transport something in, and
and another
another
Stuart.
Stuart.
Yeah, that's a nice list. I don't understand his choice of men. I
Uh,
understand it's hard to get the point for it, but the English have the best infantry squad in the game, and you're not bringing it.
yeah. Well, he focuses on skirmishing. It's a different type of list, not an assault focused
Oh,
list, and
I understand that, but
so
I still
it's
don't
more
understand it.
standoffish. I think it does have a lot of standoffish ability here because it's got a lot of dagger. It's got multiple light autocannons. It's got a lot of machine guns on its vehicles, and
It's a nasty list.
it has the flamethrowers in the jeeps to throw up against anything that
Yeah,
tries to push. He
yeah.
wants to, I think, push the enemy away
I
from
don't think
himself.
he can. Does he have transport jeeps too? I
Yeah,
thought he only had the Dhaka jeeps.
no, no, he
No, you're
has a
right. Yeah,
jeep
yeah,
for
you're right.
each of
Yeah,
the
yeah, you're right.
flamethrower teams.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
yeah,
You're right. You're right.
and they're regular, so he could put his lieutenant in them and outflank, which a
Yeah,
nice little combo.
if he only has one guy in his
He
lieutenants,
does.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that might even be the plan.
it might even be the plan. So a
Yeah.
nice little. For me as well, this is a really nice list.
Oh, it is.
It's at least a 3.5, if not a 4. It's a
Yeah.
really strong competitive list focused on skirmishing, very heavy into the skirmishing,
Oh, it is.
and
It's
all
not
out
gonna
on that.
be. It's not gonna be a fun list to face because it's gonna shoot you from quite a distance and fuck you up.
Yeah, yeah, and
Pardon my
quite early
French.
on, and because it's got so many order dice, it like him facing off against that German list we just look
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
He's going to pin the Germans down very
He
early on.
if you go by pure numbers, he should get 5 order dice before the German even get to do anything. Maybe
Yeah.
even 6. And if he gets to take out 6 die before the other guy gets to do anything, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And then you start going
Then
down with stuff. So yeah,
yeah,
nice
that's
list.
going to be hard.
That's a top
Then
5
we
list
have
right there.
Patrick. Patrick brings a German list, 14 order dice,
14.
so
Yeah,
a little better on the order dice count. Second
yeah.
lieutenant, regular with an extra man, and then green Fallschirmjägers here with a lot of gear. Double light machine guns, assault rifles, and they have a Panzerfaust as well. They're green and inexperienced. 2 of these large units, very expensive for inexperienced dudes with so much gear. I know
He
you
really
get
needs.
discounts for this, but that's a lot of points to sink into an inexperienced unit,
It
isn't it?
is. He really needs his 5 or 6s to roll when he loses a unit.
Yeah. A light mortar team regular, flamethrower team.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the only regular light mortar that we see in this whole
But
bunch of lists.
yeah, but when I see this, my first thing is this is a fairly new player, or at least not a competitive player. He spent points on making a regular mortar team, but didn't purchase a spotter, so he
You
basically
can't not for
wasted.
a light mortar.
Well, then you wasted your points.
Yeah, you're only doing that to keep it alive a little bit more. But
Yeah, but
it's still a
yeah,
small team, so
yeah,
yeah.
it's a waste.
Flamethrower, medium artillery with a spotter. Opel Blitz with a flak 38, which is a
That
really
is
nice little
nice.
platform-mounted autocannon that's got
Oh, that
4
is
autocannons.
evil.
That's 8 shots. That is vicious. That will shred a
Oh.
Steward. It will shred anything you
It,
pointed
oh
at.
yeah. What kind? What does it have in armor? Oh, 6. Luckily,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
shoot
yeah.
it.
It's the ultimate glass cannon,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
you
really
can.
is a cannon.
Oh, that is gonna draw so much attention.
Yeah, it is. A swim wagon, and then the second platoon, another lieutenant, 2 more green Fallschirmjägers, same loadout, a Wurfgerät Howling Cow, horse-drawn limber for that, and a half-track with a platform-mounted heavy autocannon. So another autocannon. So it's
Oh.
autocannon spam here.
Okay,
I
but
sort of like elements of this list. Um,
I really, really, really like the autocannons. I don't like that they're 6+,
no,
because anything and their mother's gonna shoot at it. I mean, everything is gonna shoot at it. It is not gonna be allowed to live.
no. At
Uh,
least they'll be pinned. It will be pinned out of its brains because again, imagine the previous list, all those skirmishers just
yeah, 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 yeah,
clinging
yeah,
away
yeah.
yeah,
And they're gonna be the main target is gonna be those two.
yeah.
I don't like his inexperienced squads
Yeah,
green
those are a worry for
because,
me as well.
well, I mean, if you look at it and you say, okay, I'm playing 5 games,
Mm,
so I roll 20 die to
mm,
one for each green squad to see if they go green or not,
yeah,
or if they go veteran, or if they get shaken. So if
yeah.
you roll 20 die and on one you fuck up, that's 3 times your units out of 6 games
We'll
becomes
just get
will get
a bunch of
pins,
pins. Yeah,
and that is 104 points you lose in three times. That is a lot.
yeah. I must admit, I'm with Michael here. I would rather go for like something dependable in the infantry slot than something that's fancy and could be really beneficial if you get
Yeah.
the green roll.
I mean, if you are unlucky and a sniper shoots your leader in that group, you roll a 1
Yep,
and a 6. The squad flees on one
yep,
hit.
yeah. So that's not good.
No, no,
Right.
no.
But an
But
interesting list.
I do like the autocannons.
Oh
If he can
yeah.
get that autocannon in and get it on ambush, nobody's going to run
Oh
in front of it. I mean,
nope.
nobody's going to get to shoot at it because whatever squad does it is dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Pim. Him we saw last at the Zealand Open, so I am really interested in hearing your opinion about this list because
I
this is an interesting one. Let me
I
tell
don't
you,
like it. 13 dice, and he spent
13 dice.
he spent 103 points. How can he spend
Yeah,
100
he
103?
didn't. There was, I think, there was a mix-up where he bought a mule team or something, and it was a horse-drawn limber, something like that. So
Okay.
um, he brings U.S. reinforced gliders too. So he brings a second lieutenant inexperienced, then some skirmishers, stubborn infantry, glider
Yeah.
squads, really nice. The scout teams, FSSF scouts, so they are cheap and they've got that
Yeah,
escape
they can
reaction.
Reiki. Yeah.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
sort of recce. So they're really difficult to kill. And then he brings a double D Sherman veteran. Look at
No.
that beast. It's a
But
9+.
but
It's gyro
why?
stabilized and it's got a medium anti-tank gun.
But who
It's an
cares?
absolute beast. But wait, there is more. Then a Dutch truck for some sort of transport. I don't know what for. But then the second platoon, exactly the same. We have a land mattress on top. Here goes the horse-drawn limber. That is a mule team. And then another double D Sherman. Double Death Stars, Michael. Double Death Stars. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
crap. Okay, so the double Shermans, I would just ignore them. They get 6 shots on you with a
Mm,
+5. I mean, yeah, okay, he might hit, but make sure you get cover or whatever. It's still one dice for
yep.
225 points. Okay, yeah, he has 5 coaxial or hole mounted shots he can shoot to.
Yep.
Yay. No, it's horrible. Horrible. 450 points on 2 1 shots. No, no. I would take my 2 Katyushas at 65 points any day over that.
Yeah. Yeah. I, I,
I
I
mean,
guess I would too. We're not, neither of us are a fan of Death Stars. However, let me ask you, if you were to play with this list, how would you run it?
if I was playing it,
Yep. Not against it, but with it.
yeah. Well, it depends on the mission, of course, but I would basically use the 2 Death Stars as cover for my crap
Yep.
because there is not a lot of things in anybody has unless they come with Panzerfaust that can really hurt him.
Yep.
Even on a Panzerfaust, it's only a 50-50 to glance and a
Yep.
33% chance to penetrate. So I would use them to basically cover for my little guys to go up and have objectives and whatever. And when people shoot at it, I would basically just run on the other side of the tank so they can't see me. That's how
Yeah.
I would use it.
Yeah. I would also use them in tandem, I think, so that
Yeah,
both tanks are moving up.
yeah,
Maybe sometimes put one of them on ambush, the other one just moving up, killing something,
exactly. Yeah,
and then going towards the center of the table because Death Stars, the only place for me to have them is in the center of the table
of
where they
course,
can dominate the center, push
of
the enemy
course.
off, and then hopefully the rest of your guys can do whatever they want.
But I would still call this a weak Death Star. I know he doesn't get a minus when he moves and shoots,
Yeah.
but it's still just one die.
Yeah, but
You know,
it's 2 Death Stars. That's the interesting thing for me here. I haven't seen lists like this before, where someone actually put 2 Death Star units in the list and
no.
hope to make it work. Um, but at 13 order dice, it's not that bad. That we sometimes see a Death Star list with 9,
Yeah,
10 order
yeah,
dice,
yeah.
right?
Well, I'm just looking at this and thinking, okay, so if he moves and he shoots at you, if he's lucky, you don't have any cover. If you go by odds, he hits 4 times out of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Mm.
If he rolls at average,
Yeah.
then he has to kill 2. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It is going to be difficult to actually win a tournament with this.
I don't see
So,
it happening.
yeah, me neither. But it is an
Uh,
interesting experiment. Pim,
it is.
if you make this work, I'm bringing you on this channel to explain all the rest of us how
Yeah.
to play bolt action, because you will be a god.
Or a
Right.
lucky bastard or a cheating bastard. Cook your
Now,
dice, Tim. Cook your dice. So you hit 6 out of 6, you have a chance.
oh yeah, that would be really good.
Yeah.
Right. Now we come to some of the interesting parts. Russell Wright.
Ooh, I'm gonna trash him. I don't care what he has. He trashed my last list. Oh,
Look at
see,
this.
already there. He fucked it up. He has 3 guys in his first second lieutenant. That's horrible, Russell.
Look at
Horrible.
that. He's bringing 11 order dice, 999 points. 11 order dice.
Why?
Very, very low.
I am
Something
very
is going
much.
on.
Yeah, I'm
Something
looking forward to seeing
interesting.
this.
Look at this. He brings 3 men in his lieutenant team. I
Yeah.
understand that. That's because
Why? I don't understand that.
he wants to deploy his lieutenant.
Yeah.
Even when there's preparatory bombardment. If you do that with a 3-man team, you're not dying. And then he has Gurkha paratroopers. 7-man unit, 5 submachine guns. Veterans, scary blighters, stubborn, all that jazz. Very difficult to kill.
But I don't understand why you spent the points to put submachine guns in Gurkhas when they're already tough fighters.
Because he doesn't necessarily just want to assault. He also wants to shoot.
Yeah, that I just don't see it. Why would you assault? Why would you shoot with that unit? Fucking assault anything. I just don't see it.
He has 2 of these Gurkha Paras with all the trimmings. The free forward artillery observer, another unit Gurkha Paras here, another unit Gurkha Paras here. Again,
Another.
rifles. And I sort of like the mix of having some submachine guns, some rifles for a unit that's going to shoot, because that means you have some range. So you can deliver a pin at range, or you can just shoot them at close assault. But it is expensive for something that really wants to go and fight in close combat.
How many times have you been within 12 of anything and shot?
If I have
I'm
Gurkhas,
just asking you.
I assault. Why would I do anything else?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
No, Russell. No, Russell.
And the final unit here is, again, we have an 8-man unit here. So he had a few points left over. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Gurkhas.
Is it only 5? I think it was more, wasn't it?
That is only 5 units.
Okay.
But then he does something weird. He brings tough as boots as his
I don't even know what that does.
That gives him an extra attack per 3 men.
Ah.
So that means that for every 3 Gurkhas, he gets an extra dice. He is very, very certain of winning close combats that he's in. Even against other Gurkhas, he is very certain of winning close combats.
He is, but I mean, again, don't understand it, because now you have a chance to pin out his Gurkhas.
That will be the problem. Yeah.
He's already gonna win against other Gurkhas, more or less, especially if it's not paratroopers too, because they don't flee unless he loses. So he doesn't really need the extra hits. So up and at him in my book is much better, because now I can actually stop his Gurkhas from moving.
Yep. Then he brings an inexperienced medium mortar. We know it, we love it. It's a really nice little tool. Sniper team, regular, nice tool. Marmon Harrington, which has twin MMGs and a turret, so 10 shots, 7+, recce, close top.
Nice little vehicle.
Nice vehicle. And then a Lee. The Lee, of course, is a 9+ tank, and this is where he spends his points, which is why the order dice count is so low. The Lee is an anti-steward tank. It brings a hull-mounted medium anti-tank gun.
Yeah.
That has front and right arcs, and then it has a turret-mounted light AT gun as well.
It's a nice tank. Don't like the vulnerable and easily catches fire.
That all sucks.
That hurts when the dogs runs into it, but it's a really nice tank. Just the fact that you could shoot at 2 different vehicle targets
Yeah.
is awesome.
And at the
I mean,
same time, you
yeah,
you can also fire your medium MMG,
yeah,
because it's a cupola mounted MMG, so you're
yeah.
not actually becoming open top when you shoot it,
No,
which is amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So I
That's a
think you
nice
can
tank.
actually shoot at 4 different targets here.
3. You can't
Nope.
shoot your coaxial.
Oh yeah. No. Check it out. So you shoot your medium anti-tank gun, right?
Yeah,
3. Medium
yeah,
anti-tank gun, cupola mounted, and
yeah,
then the light
yeah,
80. Yeah.
yeah.
3.
Either that or your coaxial and not your light anti-tank. You
Yeah.
can't shoot both.
Yeah. My main worry is that with 11 order dice, most of his army is he's going to suffer from the lack of
He
initiative
is. He is.
with the dice roll. And that means that most of his army is going to get pinned before they actually connect
Yeah,
for most of the time.
yeah.
So that will be, and I will love to see how he manages that risk of being pinned down and not being able to move.
Well, I
Because
mean,
if he can do that, then he's he
if
has
I
something.
if I remember right, you told me once Russell is a fairly good player.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Russell
So
is on the way to becoming the first British national
yeah.
champion
So
from their league.
so
So
so and we normally when we talk in the Danish bold action community, we fairly much agree on that the player is still more important than the
yeah,
list. And I am sure with Russell's abilities that he will somehow get this hidden and get it forward without taking all the pins, or else he wouldn't have built it this way.
I agree.
So I would say in most players' hands this list is a dud, but
Hmm.
in Russell's hands it might actually do well
Yeah,
because I am pretty damn sure he has a plan with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and his units are very very survivable. These stubborn veterans, they're not going to die no matter what you throw
No,
at
no,
them.
no, no, no. You can't get them to flee with flaming or
Yeah,
anything. They if they get in your face, you're screwed. You have to take them out.
yeah. You have to pin them down, all of them, all the
I mean, I
pins.
I mean, he only has 11 order dice, but
Yeah.
I will say my list would not like this list because I would need my Katyushas to take care of his Gurkhas, or I would get screwed.
Yeah. Especially
Uh,
because he'll be so close to you when you start pinning him, so that will be really difficult to stop him.
yeah.
Although his lead would be very much dog bait for you, right?
Oh, it would get 6 dogs on it
Yep.
fairly quick.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to move that forward. It wouldn't be very useful against me.
No.
Other than of course the HE2 against my veterans is always good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if he's within range of that, or where he actually really have a good chance to hit, my dogs will also get in range with him pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like to face this list because if my Katyushas doesn't hit, I will get in trouble
Yeah.
if he
Neither
comes
would
with
I like
his.
to face this list, because I mean Gurkhas against Gurkhas is always going to be, yeah,
Yeah, and you
un-
and he
unfun.
has power you don't. So if you win, he stays until. So you
Yeah.
have to win every row.
Yeah, but the only way to do this for me would be to split fire my stewards, pin two,
Pin,
three,
pin, pin,
four
pin, pin,
units,
pin,
and
pin.
and just make sure that his assault is staggered.
Yeah,
That's the only
I
way to
would
do
do the
it.
same. I would use as many as I could on the
Yeah,
front Gurkhas to make sure to give him pins. Try to isolate them somehow.
yeah,
Hope my Katusha can hit so I can pin something so I can get 1 or 2 isolators and just pin.
yeah,
And that's why he should have had the up and at him instead because
yeah.
then you couldn't have stopped him. But
Fine.
I'm looking forward to see what you can do with that, Russell.
Yeah, that'll be good. Then we have Sander, and Sander brings a Finnish platoon, 12 order dice, 999 points. He brings a regular second lieutenant, Jakari light infantry. Jakaris, they're the hunter infantry, so they have submachine guns here. He has equipped them with bicycles and anti-tank grenades on a 6-man unit,
So
and they
so
are tough fighters as well.
so
So that's a
here
lot of points.
here's the question: when he comes down there and his squads doesn't have bicycles, and
Mm.
Pack says why, blah blah blah, a lot of letters. What? So I can say no, you don't have bicycles. I can't see
WYSIWYG. I think you can
it.
actually get 3D printed fins with bicycles, so he might be good. Um,
I don't care. You know that. I was just
for me, that this is just too many points to sink into a unit that's not actually benefiting from the Finnish special rules. So I typically
yeah
don't recommend Jakari infantry.
no,
The city
and
recons, though, they're really good. But look at this. He has chosen to give them submachine guns and a light machine gun again, and anti-tank grenades. I don't understand this loadout. I'm sorry, Sander. I really don't.
no.
The Finnish really benefit from rifles, so the
Yeah,
submachine guns are not
waste of points.
beneficial.
And
That's a waste
and
of
and
points.
and and when you don't only have six
Yep.
units in a squad,
Yep.
anti-tank grenades really ain't beneficial either.
Yep.
Because if you even if you go up against a armor 8
Yep.
and make 3 hits, which is average on a 4, 5, or 6,
Mm.
you only have a 33% chance of glancing that vehicle.
Yep.
It's just not worth it unless you can get up and get enough hits.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's also
And
a
all
waste
his
of
city
points.
recons are loaded out in the same manner here. I don't think this is a good loadout. A
No.
flamethrower team, veteran, so that's very survivable, can
Yeah.
stand up to a few sniper shots. Of course, the ultimate sniper of the game, the Finnish master of the hunt sniper,
Yeah,
really
he's
good.
nasty.
He's nasty. An anti-tank rifle team, again, veteran, leaning very heavily into the veterans. Light mortar team, veteran. Light
See, I
autocannon, veteran. BT-42, that's a medium howitzer mounted on a tracked vehicle. So that's really good to see as well.
yeah, that's a
Medium
nice
howitzer,
vehicle.
that's a nice vehicle. And a Consommeret.
Yeah, that's not a good vehicle.
No, the Consommeret? No,
No,
it's not.
no,
And
unreliable, open
and
top.
it's there
It's
to
horrible.
transport up the flamethrower.
Yeah,
The only
yeah,
way to.
but you will just pin it to death, and it'll stand there, and you wasted the points.
Well, it's regular. He might be able to outflank with it with a lieutenant inside.
Yeah,
Um,
true, true. But but still, I mean, and it's unreliable. So every time you do anything, as far as I remember, you have to do a test.
yeah.
Horrible.
He could also use it as a backline MMG. Um,
Yeah.
LMG. Yeah. Um, I mean, the list is not massively bad. It is low on order dice. It's just the loadout of the infantry units for me.
I mean,
That's not a good loadout.
if I was going to use that many points on a Finnish squad, I would grab the squad that can charge in from the enemy's rear line.
Yep. The
And
Kaukapachios,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
really interesting,
and I
but
would
so
definitely.
expensive.
They are, but I mean, 128 points for 6 units. Yeah, they're veterans, but I mean, I just don't see that squad being very efficient. Uh, he wasted 12 points on Tank Hunter. Uh, he wasted 6 points on SMGs.
Yep.
Where I think the special rule for Finnish is if they have rifle, they move forward, they can go on ambush.
That's the special rule for city recons that they can go on ambush. The
Yeah,
Finnish the Finnish army in as a national special rule get +1 to shoot from ambush. So
yeah.
the city recon really benefit from having rifles.
So
So
why
no
would
reason
you?
to have
Yeah,
submachine
no,
guns
no,
at all.
hell no. They shoot on
Yeah,
twos. It's great.
yeah,
He might have been able to put 1 or 2 guys more in there if he removed the light machine gun, which again useless compared to a rifle for them. He might have been able to have an 8 or 9 man squad
yeah,
that shoots on twos
yeah.
on ambush after he moves. I mean, that would have been a much better move in
I
my
think
book.
so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last list for us today is Thomas Vorderman. We know
Oh
Thomas.
dear,
Du-
Thomas.
du- du- du. And he brings Brits.
Of course he does.
16 order dice, 998 points.
See, I
Second
like that.
lieutenant, inexperienced. Gurkha Perez, 5
Yeah.
men. Royal Engineers, again, 5 men. Rifle,
Yeah.
flamethrower here. Stubborn. 3 forward artillery observer with an extra dude. Indians.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
medium mortar, inexperienced. A sniper team, regular. Land mattress, inexperienced. Bren carrier. This is for the Gurkhas. So the Gurkhas
Of
sit in the
course.
Bren carrier. All
Yeah.
the engineers sit in the Bren carrier, depending
Yeah.
on what he wants.
Yeah.
And just keep it alive and make sure that nothing charges it, and then he can split fire with that Bren carrier all day. No, he's
No,
not
he
got
only
the
has one
Pendle
gun.
here. He
Yeah.
only has
No.
one gun. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Crusader AA. This is really good.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
a nice gun.
that is a nice. That's 4 shots with light autocannons,
Yeah.
8+ tank. Really
Yeah.
nice little
Yeah.
vehicle at 135 points. I'm
Yeah.
getting myself one of those, maybe even 2. Then the second platoon, another lieutenant, again, Gurkha Perez, again, Canadian engineers. Here comes the Indians, and he's actually bought an LMG for these Indians. Don't know why you would, but okay. He
No.
maybe had 20 points left over.
Yeah.
A Bofors, a 30 CVT for some engineers, and a Stuart.
That's a nice list.
That's a really nice list.
It is.
It's a really, really nice list.
It is.
The only thing I would want, the only thing I would wish for is to have some of the Gurkha units being a little bit bigger. So they had a little bit more punch. 5
Yeah.
Gurkhas, not that massively scary.
Yeah, I might have settled for 15 auto dice, taken out a Royal Engineer squad, and beefed up my Gurkhas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the 5-man Gurkhas, and he only has 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, my squads can easily handle that. I would rather face that list than the 5 Gurkhas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things in this list I don't want to face, but
Yeah. And combined this amount of armor, like there's a Bren carrier, there's the Crusader, there
yeah,
is the 30 CVT truck, which has an MMG, can sit in the back line, just shoot out, and then the Stuart as well. That's a lot of vehicles that can do damage to you.
yeah. Well,
And
my advantage against vehicles is people don't run their vehicles forward against 3 dog teams, because
they never
as long
do.
as I can stay behind heavy cover and you shoot at me, they will always be 7s more or less, because
Yes.
I'll just go down, and then if I get the first die, you are within range, you're screwed. If I
Yeah.
don't roll 2 2s or 2 1s, or
Yeah.
but yeah, the risk is too big.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also notice here how he spreads out. So he has many different types of artillery here. He has a
yeah,
Bofors.
I
He
like it.
has a land mattress for the indirect splash shooting, and he has a medium mortar as well. So he
Yeah.
can zero in. Lots of different options here for this list.
I mean, I would say from the list I've seen so far, I mean, I would call this a top 3 list. Luckily, it's just a German with the name Thomas playing it, but the list is good. Sorry, Thomas, couldn't help myself, buddy.
Right. A
Uh,
little bit of slapping going on here. Right.
oh, we have to have some. It's important.
Right.
I'll drink a beer with you in Holland,
Right.
Thomas.
We look forward to seeing you, Thomas. And Russell, we look very much forward to seeing how you play that list.
We do.
And to
Pim.
see if Pim can actually make Death Stars a thing again.
Yeah.
So much to notice here. Michael, thank you so much for joining me. It's late in the evening. You have to go to bed and get up tomorrow and work. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And that was it from us. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Later.
And I am just stopping there. There we go.